A team of experienced developers can communicate consistently enough that the team can behave like an electrical circuit. When this happens, the developers usually become very skilled at what they do and have opportunities elsewhere. So the incentive to stay together dissolves. Otherwise, we can have very hands-on jobs with developers, but this doesn't scale. Theoretically, it's a better idea to hire a developer who can be a marketing agent for whatever they're doing. Developers need to be able to represent what they're building with enthusiasm. The reason for this is there are structures that your audience is going to need to navigate, and having the ability to understand why they're navigating those structures is helpful psychologically. There are a lot of inhumane processes that people are exposed to, so if we can represent groundedness about the processes that are necessary, it's easier to build relationship. It does take time to develop the fluency in each particular language, and it's difficult to test fluency in a language meaningfully. Lead code style interviews are theoretically a good idea, but it takes a long time to be able to contextualize the theory of computer science with the actual implementation. This is a space where we can do better as curriculum designers. If we have art connected with computer science, we can ground the physical actions with things that make people feel. Currently, we're navigating an intergenerational communication literacy gap. Incentivizing art is challenging, though we can connect it with some of the principles of financial markets and mention the flux that's growing. People who haven't developed the muscles to interpret art as communication aren't necessarily going to be able to easily value art, so it's still helpful to connect it to legacy structures. Sometimes people who have very strong relationships with legacy structures are going to dismantle new ones, which will make it difficult to make progress in necessary spaces. Enough people are scared and reactionary that being grounded throughout this process is a skill to practice. As experienced developers, we can provide environments for new developers to learn how their language relates to what their goals are. Every language has different physics, and the abilities to represent truth in each language can be simulated by different systems in our bodies. So as we develop human relationships to these languages, it's helpful to have examples for groundedness. Then, as we magnify our efforts in parallel, incrementing daily becomes more obviously beneficial. Currently, we are in a pattern of decay. We can shift our attention towards patterns of birth and growth. And we can be more supportive of the people who give birth and grow.